question now is, has Joshua reignited himself back into the public's consciousness and the heavyweight division? 7th round knockout of Robert Helenius. Gareth A. Davies, of course, was all over it on the night, reported it for the Telegraph as well. Gareth, at the end of the day, what do you think? Is it big pass marks for AJ?
Morning, Simon, James and Martin. Yes, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10 for this performance, James. It was a very cautious performance, but a dramatic and emphatic denouement in the 7th round with that hellacious right hand.
Oh, we're just losing your line. We'll get back to you, Gareth. He's given us 7 out of 10. Simon, do you go with that? 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I might go a little bit better because I think he did the job. His job was to knock this fellow out, and people are comparing it to what Deontay Wilder did. But the fella didn't fight the same way as he fought Deontay Wilder. If he'd have stayed out of way with Deontay Wilder, then that fight would have gone longer. Anthony Joshua, yeah, I feel sorry for the poor sod. People have convinced him now that he has to fight a completely different way, and he's in between two stools. He's suffering from an element of confidence, but he's gone in there, and the first time he's let his hands go, he's knocked the guy out. So it doesn't really matter if he knocks him out in the 7th round or knocks him out in the 2nd or 3rd round. And you also have to price in what the other guy was doing. Everyone's going, well, he got knocked out in 1 round by Deontay Wilder. That's because he came in to fight with Deontay Wilder. In this fight, he came in to pick and poke and keep out of range and make it difficult and exploit some of the conflict and lack of confidence that Anthony Joshua has. Yes, we all want Anthony Joshua to go in like a bull in a china shop. We want him to be throwing combinations and to be on his front foot and get his feet in range and start letting his hands go. But he's in the background. He's got other people saying, you need to change your style. What's happened to you? You've lost your confidence. You're gun shy. You need to be this. You need to be that. You can't behave in this way. You can't behave in that way. And that's why you see some of the things. I thought it was unwise to say what he said after the fight. I think someone else should say that about him. Well, when he turned around and said, I'm carrying the heavyweight division on my back.
Yeah.
I think that should be said about him, not by him.
Yeah, I mean...
And I know he said it tongue-in-cheek.
It was all very tongue-in-cheek. In fact, this is what he did say. He sounded relieved to get Helenius out of there.
Man, people need to leave me alone. I'll do what I want. This is my time in this ring. People need to let me breathe a bit and let me keep on doing what I do. But listen, Helenius, I told him there, please come again. In the modern-day era of boxing, a loss is like suicide, but the guy's he's got talent. So I had to figure him out. He was a late replacement. And I think he can cause a lot of people some problems, in my humble opinion. But I just said credit to him for coming out tonight and saving the show. I hope everyone enjoyed. I don't want to say too much, but I just want to thank everyone, really. And I hope I can see you again, hopefully 2 more times this year, because I do need to stay busy. I need to keep on building, keep on building, keep on building. I've been off for too long. But Eddie, thank you as well. The Zone, thank you. Ade, I'm going to shoot. I want to spend some time with the supporters.
One more, very quickly, Adrian, just one more, just before you go. A lot of the supporters do want to know, including myself as well, what next? There has been a lot of talk. You wouldn't let me ask you in the build-up about a certain Deontay Wilder. I can ask you that question now about Wilder. What can you say?
My back. My back's... Is there a doctor in here? My back's gone.
Your back is okay.
I'm about to carry this heavyweight division to the top.
You can tell that to Daniel Dubois when he goes over to Poland to fight Alexander Usyk for the world title in 2 weeks' time. Look, I think now is the time. I really do believe that Joshua needs to fight Deontay Wilder next. And I've been in the camp of suggesting that actually this is but Deontay Wilder is also a vanquished fighter. He's been schooled and beaten up in 2 fights by Tyson Fury. He's been through the same journey that Anthony Joshua has. He's had 1 fight or 1 meaningful fight back against Robert Helenius a year ago, and he did to Robert Helenius exactly what Anthony Joshua did, because Robert Helenius came to fight in the 1st round, got knocked out. If it had come to fight in the 1st round of Anthony Joshua, he might have got the same treatment. Maybe not so much, because Anthony's a bit more cautious. But I think now you're going to learn nothing more by pushing Anthony Joshua in a series of fights. He's going to go into a fight with Deontay Wilder. He's going to do 1 or 2 things: fight or flight. He's going to get hit by Wilder and he's going to fight, or he's going to fold. Yeah. And there's nothing else to be said anymore.
Pretty much so. Gareth is back with us. Gareth, can Joshua inflict the kind of damage he inflicted on Helenius? Can he inflict on Wilder?
He can, and I agree with what Simon said just now. The key for Anthony Joshua, and he does have this relief element to him after a fight, and he does say some unusual things because he holds his counsel going into an event, and I think, you know, he is feeling the pressure from everyone. In my view, I don't agree with Tony Bellew and David Hay that he needs another fight. Have it now. But what he's got to do with Deontay Wilder, and as I said to you guys on Friday on the weigh-in show, Helenius knows his way around the ring and played a cautious chess match because he wanted to try and exploit Joshua. If it had gone any further, he might have had the yips. He's got to fight Wilder now, pick up the $60 million cash bonus, and go for a shootout with Wilder. Wilder's got up off the floor, though, Simon, and proved that you have to nail him to the canvas to win.
But he's not been hit by someone who hits as hard as Anthony Joshua. He got off the floor with Tyson Fury.
Yeah, but Fury does hit very hard as well. He's a 19-stone man.
Granted, but he's also, isn't he? I mean, he's damaged goods himself. And this idea...
But he's got up off the floor, Simon. What Anthony's never done is get up off the floor.
He has. He got off the floor against Klitschko.
That's true. He did actually, and he did survive. I'm wrong in that. You're right. He has proven that, but that's a long time ago now. What we need him to do is go in there, have a shootout with Wilder, and make it a 4 or 5 round fight. That's his best opportunity. And then, if he does that, we get the mega fight with Fury. But I have to say this, I make Wilder an 80-20 favourite in that fight.
But I think
Simon, this went exactly the way we thought it would. The only thing was it went a bit longer.
Yeah, I mean, and ultimately, you know, you've got a fighter that sat there being told by everybody he's got to change. You've got a fighter that's being told a backstory where you didn't have a big amateur career, so you haven't got the experience, right? And because he's in about 7 different minds, I think it conflates and confuses issues for him. And I look at it and think to myself, the best thing he can do right now is get out of England, fight somewhere like Saudi, and fight Deontay Wilder, and it will be what it will be. There's going to be nothing like... I think the brilliant fight for us, tragically, would have been the Dillian White fight. I think we'd have learnt a lot more in that fight than we'd have learnt against Helenius, because White would have come to fight, and he would have come to do damage to Anthony Joshua because they don't like one another. And you'd have seen, if Anthony Joshua gets to look in the abyss, what version of Anthony Joshua stares back at it?
Can I just say one other thing about Josh's performance that was very impressive? His relationship with Derek James. For most of the fight, he had a very simple game plan. Jab to the body, fence to the body, jab to the head, 1-2 with the left-right, and a left hook from out of range, which didn't really work. But what he did do after round 5, Derek James got into him to shift his body weight and shuffle and create angles, and that's how he created that angle.
Get his feet closer.
To knock out Helenius, and he got his feet moving. That's really promising with Derek James, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got their own view of Helenius and what he was doing coming in as a late replacement. But I mean, the messages I'm seeing this morning, no one should get carried away with what they saw from Joshua, in spite of what Joshua is saying, Gareth, regards Saturday night. There's Rob. Look, AJ boxed well, and it was a good finish, but you can see he's very wary and extremely cautious of what's going to come back. You bet something will come back with Wilder.
And that's fine, but no one should get carried away with what Wilder is either. Because
he's very dangerous, though, Simon. He can knock anyone out with one punch.
Was Helenius really dangerous, Gareth, at any stage? Helenius, was he dangerous at any stage to Joshua? Was he a threat?
He was very composed in the first 3 rounds, I thought, and you sat there nervous and anxious for Joshua, which is what we do every time he steps into a ring now, because weirdly, we all want him to succeed. He's amazing for the industry. He's transformed. Look what he did for Saturday night. It was still a big event. It was still a big fight week, and he rescued it because of his desire to fight. But we'll always have this concern about Joshua when he steps into the ring now.
I mean, we saw earlier on the IBF mandatory challenger in Hrgovic, and he put your feet to sleep. I mean, you want to see boredom. I mean, okay, he can hit a little bit, and he knocked out Dempsey McKean in the 12th round, but you didn't see a great fighter. And I think that the bottom line, I mean, I listened to the commentary. I think the 2 commentators, with the exception of our guys, because I was listening to Barry Jones and Andy Lee, nailed it. I don't quite know what Tony was watching or some of the things that Tony was saying, and some of the things that come out of partisan supporters are not helpful because they're not really looking at the thing objectively. Yeah. Anthony Joshua went in there and the job was to knock this fellow out.
Yeah.
And does it really matter whether he knocked him out in the 1st round or the 7th round? I guarantee you Deontay Wilder would have not knocked out Robert Helenius if Robert Helenius had fought Deontay Wilder in the same way he fought Anthony Joshua in the 1st round.
Okay. Let Joshua get on with it with Wilder, and then we'll see. Gareth, thank you very much indeed.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.